Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Belchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you a part of Ulysses.
As.
Ulysses. James Joyce. Toe. 6 text 7. Mr. Daedalus said dubiously, "Is that the eldest boy in front?" "Yes," Ned Lambert said, "with the wife's brother. John Henry Menton is behind." He put down his name for a quid. "I'll engage he did," Mr. Daedalus said. "I often told poor Paddy he ought to mind that job. John Henry is not the worst in the world." "How did he lose it?" Ned Lambert asked. "They go." "What?" "Many a good man's fault," Mr. Daedalus said with a sigh. They halted about the door of the mortuary chapel, and at the slender furred neck inside his brand new collar. Poor boy. Was he there when the father? Both unconscious. Lighten up at the last moment and recognise for the last time all he might have done. Ire 3 shillings to O'Grady. Would he understand? The mutes bore the coffin into the chapel. Which end is his head? After a moment he followed the other's end, blinking in the screened light. The coffin lay on its bier before the chancel, 4 tall yellow candles at its corners. Always in front of us, Corny Kelleher, laying a wreath at each 4 corner, beckoned to the boy to kneel. The mourners knelt here in their own praying desks. Mr. Bloom stood behind near the front end. When all had knelt, dropped carefully his unfolded newspaper from his pocket and knelt his right knee upon it. He fitted his black hat gently on his left knee and, holding its brim, bent over piously. A silver bearing a brass bucket with something in it came out through a door. The white smock priest came after him, denying his stole with one hand, balancing with the other a little book against his chud's belly. "Who will read the book?" "I," said the Rick, with a fluent croak. "Father Coffey." I knew his name was like a coffin. Tom and other men. Bully about the muzzle he looks. Boss is the show. Muscular Christian. Woe betide anyone that looks crooked at him. Poorest. Thou Peter. Burst sideways like a sheep in clover Daedalus says he will. With a belly on him like a poisoned pup. Most amusing expressions that man finds. Ain. Burst sideways. Non inches in tradition come servo to. Tamine. Makes them feel more important to be prayed over in Latin. Arquemas. Crepe weepers. Packaged note paper. Your name on the out list. Shall you place this? Want to feed well. X please. Eyes of a tortu. What swells him up that way? Molly gets swelled after cabbage. Air of the place maybe. Looks full up of bed gas. Must be an infernal lot of bed gas round the place. But shows. For instance, they get like Robbie sticks. Who was telling me? Marvin Brown. Bernett. Odd wishes. Though. One whiff of that and you're a goner. My kneecap is hurting me. Oh. That's better. The boys book it and shook it over the cuffing. Then he walked to the other end and shook it again. Then he came back and put it back in the bucket. As you were before you rested. It's all written down. He has to do it. It Nino's and Juka's intentationum. The server piped the answers in the treble. I often thought it would be better to have boy servants. Up to 15 or so. After that, of course. Holy water that was. I expect. Shaking sleep out of it. He must be fed up with that job. Shaking that thing over all the corpses they trot up. What harm if he could see what he was shaking it over? Every mortal day a fresh batch. Middle-aged men. Old women. Children. Women dead in childbirth. Men with beards. Bald-headed businessmen. Consumptive girls with little sparrow's breasts. On top of them, Tlape. Andignum no. In Paradisum. Said he was going to paradise or is in paradise. Says that over everybody. Tiresome kind of a job. But he has to say something. The priest closed his book and went off, followed by the server. Conig Leher opened the sided doors and the gravediggers came in. Hoisted the cuffing again. Carried it out and shoved it on their cart. Conig Leher gave one wreath to the boy and one to the brother-in-law. All followed them out of the sided doors into the mild grey air. Mr. Bloom came last, folding his paper again into his pocket. He gazed gravely at the ground till the coffee cup rolled up to the left. Blond boots followed the trundled burrow along a lane of sepultures. The reed, the wa, the reed, the ra, the roo. Ward. I mustn't lilt here. The O'Connell circle. Mr. Diddless said about him. Mr. Poor's soft eyes went up to the apex of the lofty comb. The Zap rest. He said, in the middle of his people. Would they know? But his heart is buried in Rome. How many broken hearts are buried here? Simon. Her grave is over there. Jacko. Mr. Diddless said, I'll soon be stretched beside her. Let him take me whenever he likes. Breaking down. He began to weep to himself quietly, stumbling a little in his walk. Mr. Parr took his arm. She's better where she is, he said kindly. I suppose so. Mr. Diddless said with a weak gasp. I suppose she is in heaven if there is a heaven. Conig Leher stepped aside from his rank and allowed the mourners to plod by. Sad occasions. Mr. Kerning began politely. Mr. Bloom closed his eyes and steadily twice bowed his head. The others are putting on their hats. Mr. Kerning said, I suppose we can do so too. We are the last. This cemetery is a treacherous place. They covered their heads. The reverend gentleman read the service too quickly. Don't you think? Mr. Kerning said with reproof. Mr. Bloom nodded gravely, looking in the quick bloodshot eyes. Secret eyes. Secret searching. Mason. I think. Not sure. Beside him again. We are the last. in the same boat. Hope he'll say something else. Mr. Cunning added, the service of the Irish Church used to Mount Jerome is simpler. More impressive, I must say. Mr. Bloom gave prudent assent. The language, of course, was another thing. Mr. Cunning said with solemnity, I am the resurrection and the life. That touches a man's inmost heart. It does. Mr. Bloom said. His toast to the daisies. To be continued.